Hey everyone, hope you're doing well today. My name is Nate, and today we're going to be going over the color wheel. I always pre-wash my shirts first, so this has been washed and soaked in soda ash. So if you need to see how to prep the shirt, be sure to watch my video labeled "How to Prep Shirt for Tie-Dye," and that'll show you exactly all my steps I do beforehand. You do have to prep the shirt beforehand, or your dye will not bond to the shirt. So it is very important that you do that. So do not skip that step. So if you need to watch that, be sure to head on over and watch that video before doing any of this. You want to smooth out all our wrinkles. We want this shirt as flat as possible. We want it even on both sides. We are going to be folding this in half. So if it is not even, then when we fold it, the two halves will be off. And you have like a line that goes from one side or the other when you're wearing it. We don't want that to happen. So we're trying to get this smooth. Okay, so I'm going to turn this to the side. So I'm going to be folding this in half. Okay, so we got it smoothed out. I feel a wrinkle back here. Okay. So wrinkles are out. And now we're going to take from the shoulder here and the bottom right here. We're going to fold over so that they meet the other side. And then we're going to line everything up. Make sure it's all lined up and level. We want to make sure everything is lined up in the exact same spot here. Okay, and then in the middle, sometimes you'll feel a little wrinkle there in the middle. So you're going to want to stick your hand in, fix that so that that's nice and smooth in there. Make sure all these wrinkles are out. And I actually did kind of miss a step. We're going to unfold. Sorry about that. With the color wheel, we are separating this side from that side. So if we had left that folded, and then when we went to dye it, the two sides were going to be the same color. With the color wheel, we don't want that. So we've got some press and seal right here. And we're going to bring it out here. And we're going to cover half of the shirt. So our little fold that we did right there kind of gave us a line to look at, to line up. So I accidentally sealed this into the shirt a little early. I needed to shift just a little bit. And so once you press it down, the wheel kind of stick itself to the shirt. So make sure you got it where you want it to be before you press it down. And you can even go a little bit over the halfway point, because when you end up folding, when we fold this side over, it'll still only be covered halfway. We're just trying to separate this half from that half. Okay, so now I'm going to press and go through and press this down. make it stick to the shirt. You want to make sure that it does cover. So if you have a bigger shirt, you have to add another strip that goes right here. Now our sleeve right here is not covered. So I'm going to move this whole thing up a little bit. And we're going to take one more piece. And this is going to go right here. Make sure to seal it to this piece. Make sure it goes over well, because dye can leak in between. We don't want that. So we want to make sure it's good. I'm hoping this is enough to keep it from bleeding. Okay. So there's that. Now we're going to fold this half and bring it to meet up right here, right there, and right there. Line up the sleeves. Press everything down. Make sure you're good and smooth. Okay. We'll rotate this around. So I'm going to be working from right here. So our starting point, we're going to go about right here. It's like the middle of the chest is typically 2 fingers to 2 inches or so down. So we're going to go 3 fingers down, straight across. I'm just going to make a point right there. That's our starting point. Take the protractor here. And I'm going to mark every 10. Every 10 degrees. Just put a point. Just like that. Take our super giant ruler here. And we're going to draw a line to connect each point to the center. You want to make sure that these are lined up super straight. I'm going to use a marker that works better. I am about out of markers. I need to get some more. But this one can be seen. Yeah, so if any of these are off, what it'll do, it will make all your folds off a little bit, and so we may not even be folding on each one. So we're going to see. So I've done the color wheel before. I did not mark every 10. I think I marked every 20. And towards the outside, they got a little tall, a little deep. And it was a little bit tough to be able to to get dye into all the folds is with this plastic that's here in the middle. It does make it a little bit tougher to get down like deep into the folds because you don't want to overdo it. It'd be super easy to overdo the dye, and with that plastic that's in there, if you put too much, it's not going to drip to the other side. It's gonna spread, and it's going to spread into other colors, and so you don't want that to happen. So we're going to have to be um, very precise on the amount of dye that we use, or at least as precise as we can with the bottles that we have. I'm not using my super fine tip bottles with this because, let's see, we have 36 colors to work with. If you uh, if you need to see how those are made, I do have 6 other videos. They are all single color gradients. Each of them are a different pattern, and each of them are a different color. And so in each video, I do show how I make all um, all 6 varieties of each color. So there's, with those 6 colors, each of those 6 colors has 6 varieties as well. So there are 36 colors total that will be going into this. So I'll have a very dark shade. The darkest shade I'm going to put right here in the center. And then I have a little bit lighter shade that's going to go outside. And then I have the normal hue, the unaltered hue. That'll be the next color. And then after that, we're going to start adding tint, which is white. And there isn't any white dye in this. So when you tint dye, what you end up doing is just adding more water so that more of the white of the shirt shines through, and you end up getting lighter colors. And so my light colors, my neon colors, my pastels will be coming from those. And so there'll be a variety of pastel and ultra pastel. I actually have no idea what they look like right now. I just did all of them before this video. Today has been a long day of recording. This is my 7th video to record today. And so my first 6 were those 6, and then this is the final video where I make the color wheel out of all those colors. The color wheel, making this color wheel is not really the easiest, because so if you're making one of these at home and you're making all 36 colors, then you know exactly what I mean. Making 36 colors just for a single shirt. Ooh. Plus I'm using black as well. So there are going to be 37 colors being used in this. Really, there's only 7 dyes. I'm using black, fuchsia, bright orange, lemon yellow, bright green, blue. So my blue is a mixture of different blues. But, what was call it? Blue. And then true violet for my purple. Okay. So now we got that. I'm going to start with this one here and work in. So it's fair with the plastic being there. It doesn't fold quite as easily. So you may need to go in and hold it, pinch it good, make sure that it is all the way up in there. Okay. So we're going to bring this one up to here. And you know what? I think we're going to do, we're seeing how small that is and how how slick it makes it from the two. We're going to do every 20 degrees. So I'm going to fold this line up here. And I can feel that the bottom is not lined up with it the way I need it to be. So we're just going to reach under and do a little adjusting there. So this line in the middle, it's going to be our bottom fold. So we're going to meet every other one to each other, just like so. Give it a little pinch. That way it holds. Okay. Now this fold that we're doing here, it's really just a fan fold, but with it being measured, is a little more precise than the fan fold video that I did earlier. This is also the same way that you would do a mandala, except for not without the plastic. If you put the plastic in, half of your mandala won't die. So you cannot tie a mandala with that plastic in the middle, unless you're only wanting to dye some of it. You keep some of it white, might have a cool effect. I'm not really quite sure. I've thought about doing it, and then every time I'm just about to do it, I go, oh yeah, that's right, some of that won't die if I do that. So okay, time to get the next. And sometimes, you can push in and it'll make the other layer fold, but you do need to make sure that bottom layer underneath is folding too. Otherwise, your shirt is going to be a little wonky and off. So if you have clips, you can use clips to hold this. I probably should, but I am already here. I'm already doing this free-handed. And we're going to continue with that. Just because we can. Just because you can doesn't mean you should, but you know what? We're going to do it anyway. So, you see how this falls over a little bit? I'm not too worried about here. As long as these are there, this folding over isn't actually going to do anything, because I can just come back to it at any point and put it right back. Okay. So now these are good. So right here, probably not going to be the cleanest look here. It's going to be okay. This is going to be our dark colors. So the middle is going to be not necessarily muddy, not at all. It's just going to be dark. We're going to make this look like a traditional color wheel. So in the middle, we're going to have our darker shades, and then we're going to work our way out to the lighter tints. Okay, so we're going to press down here. I can feel this wanting to pop. Actually, I do want that to pop up. Never mind. Okay, so start on this next fold. And the armpit here and the sleeve, they're not going to want to work with me naturally. So I'm going to have to come through. And we need to make sure that there is enough of this to keep from touching, because there's going to be a few in between, and so we don't want like this color to touch that color, if that makes sense, because we're going to put color here, color here, color here. Each side is going to get 3 hues with quite a few adjustments to each of those hues. Okay, so I can already feel some of that bottom layer did not come up there with it, so I grabbed it and pulled. We want the 2 sides to be level with each other. And don't rush yourself with this. If you want a nice, good, clean pattern, take your time. Use clips if you're not comfortable with keeping this level and in line without the clips. All right. So that fold, definitely need to stick my hand under so I can start the fold of that bottom layer under there. Make sure to bring it all the way in to the center here. Feel the bottom, and it feels like it's in there. It's good. Okay. Go ahead and give this a little rotation. Careful when moving your stuff. You don't want to move something that, like any of the middle, and like pull it and tug it. That could really mess it up, and you're gonna have to go back and just retie. Sometimes it's easier to just redo it if you mess up than it is to try to fix it. Okay, so now next layer. What I'm going to do for the next layer, I'm just going to go ahead and stick my finger under both layers and press up and make a crease right here. I can feel it's not wanting to fold as well on its own down there, so I'm going to help guide that fold, which means I'm going to have to come over here and push this bottom layer up into that fold. There we go. I almost wish I was making this in my size so that I could keep this. This one's going to be nice. So this is a medium. I will put it on my website, dyedforlife.com. DYED, the number 4, LIFE.com. So if you would like to have me make one of these for you, I will be more than happy to do that for you. You can put that order in through my website there at dyedforlife.com, and I will make you one. If you want to make your own, here, this video right here is definitely a good starting point. And if you're having issues, even if you make one and feel it is not for you, I will go ahead and make you one as well. All right, so our last fold here is going to bring all of this together so that all of my lines are all right here up on the top. You give this a good squeeze. Okay, now I am not going to be tying this with rubber bands, but I am putting this rubber band on here to help hold this together. I think I'm going to put one more on. So these are just to hold it while I get another. I need to be really careful here so I don't mess this up. So I'm going to tie this with some sinew, but I want this to hold still over here while I do some tying. So we got artificial sinew, 70 pound. Start. Okay, so actually we're going to have 6 levels here. So let's see, let me find my black. Okay, so I want smaller to bigger as I move out. Okay, so this first one here is actually going to be the smallest right there. And then we're going to get a little bit larger. Number 2, first layer, second layer. Okay, third layer right here. So each layer is just going to get slightly larger than the layer before. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Here's going to be 4. Right there. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 right here. And 6 will be the rest of that. So now we're going to go take our artificial sinew, start right here, and actually to get a start, so because this isn't quite as lined up, but this is lined up better, I'm going to start here, and I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to work my way back. So what I'm going to do, take one end, hold it right here with my thumb, and we're going to wrap this probably about 4 or 5 times, with it being the first, and then give it a decent pull so that it locks in on itself there. I'm going to come over to this one, do the same thing right here. So we want to try to keep the stuff mostly level. I know it's real hard in the middle, and so you're going to have a nice clean image if you do this. All right, so I kind of grab and pull so that I can put some tension on here when I do that, so that's good and tight. Oops. And I'm going to do this one again. I want these to have some bold white lines between them. Pulled that a little too tight. Okay, anytime you do something that's too tight, it's just easier to unwrap it. Do it again. Make sure you got it done right. There we go. Okay. I'm just going to work our way out. Just one tie on each line. That's it. Each one's going to get wrapped about 3 or 4 times. I notice I seem to do about 4 before it slips on itself. 3 doesn't quite seem to be enough. Okay, so there's the first 3 wraps. You want to try to make sure to keep it in line all the way around. So I'm at a point where after I pull this one tight, I can show you what it looks like on the other side without having to worry about anything really messing up. So I'm going to pull this tight. There it went. Okay. As you can see there. Now, I'm going to start working these rubber bands down. I'm just going to go ahead and pull that one off. And this one, go right here for now. That way we can make this next tie. Need to make sure these layers don't get hidden down there. All right, this one. Okay, that one's good and tight there. Okay, so we are done with the sinew. And I'm going to take a look at some of this real quick. See what we're looking at. Make sure all the plastic is in there just right. We're going to put one more rubber band just to hold that. There we go. All right, so one side just gets 3 colors. The other side gets the other 3 colors. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do our yellow, orange, fuchsia on this side. But to start off, I'm going to take some black and I'm going to put some black on the edge to separate each level. It's just a little bit. Right up to the larger side of this so that it bleeds a little bit outwards, not inwards. If that makes sense. And what I'm also going to do is so after we dye it, we're going to come through, we're going to put black over the top of it as well. And it's going to give it kind of a stained glass look. At least the first one that I did. So we'll see if this one does. I think it does. Like in my head, I'm imagining that yes, that is what will happen here. But I mean, sometimes things seem a little different. Okay, I was like, wait, something doesn't seem right. So I have six colors, and then 6 levels of each color. And so I was like, wait, there's only 5. That's not right. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're gonna flip this over. We're gonna do the same thing right here too. We want two sides to be about the same when it comes to the black dye, because like what I put on the other side will not transfer over to this side at all. That that plastic that's in the middle makes the two sides completely different. So it turns a fan fold into something much more difficult than what it was. Yeah. Quite a few people asked me to do one of these. Honestly, I was not planning on doing this today. Not at all. Maybe at some point, but today it was not on my list of things. And the reason that I'm doing this is I was just going to do the single color gradient. And then once I did the one color, I was like, I should do more. And so I have spent the day, all day today, doing multiple videos and enjoying it. This has been great. So anybody watching, thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support, all your watch hours. Please give me a like and subscribe if you are not already doing so. The more of you that do like and subscribe my content, that is just more for me to make. I am not monetized. It would be nice to be at some point. I do not have the watch hours for that, and I do not have the subscribers for it, although I am on my way there. I just started the YouTube channel last year. I put a couple videos up, and the first video that I did, for some reason, that was like my best video. Like, I still get lots of watches on that. So if any of those of you who came from my single color spiral video, that is my most popular video so far. Thank you for watching it, and thank you for the likes and the comments. If you have any comments on this, go ahead and leave them in the comment section, and I will answer your questions. It may take me a few days sometimes. I don't get notifications for the YouTube videos or for the YouTube comments, so I have to physically open up the app and go look through that to see that stuff. Just because I have it set like that, I don't want to get notifications all the time. So I wonder if I should I'm going to do that. So right here in the very center, a bunch of colors will meet up with each other. So I'm going to put some black right there in the middle. That's going to go to both sides. Okay, so the one in the middle is going to be these darkest ones here. And so I'm going to do this whole thing. Let me grab all my colors for that first. Make sure that I do have everything. And there's the purple. Okay. So because this one has the most tendency to bleed, I'm just going to color this whole front and back side first on this one. Okay, so I'm going to start with some orange here in the center. And very light, just the smallest amount. I don't want this to spread too far. There's not a whole lot of shirt that's right here, so that I can bleed very easily. And we'll do yellow on top. Okay, so yellow right up here, just the littlest amount. Smallest amount of fuchsia here on the bottom. And be very careful doing this. So if it bleeds over this way and bleeds into those other colors, they will turn brown. Okay, so I had yellow here, so that means I need to do green, blue, purple. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of green here, just the smallest little bit, little bit. Be very careful with these tips. These are not precision tips at all. I just do not have that many precision tip bottles, and I do host lessons and parties, tie-dye parties, and so I have tons of bottles, as you can see, and so that gives me the ability to be able to mix all these colors and to make my own colors, and then to show you how to do that as well. I only have 7 colors here. I mean, technically I have 37. I have 6 colors, and I have black, and that is it. That is what is going to make this whole shirt. Okay, that one is done. So now we're going to work to here. Go ahead and put all those back. We will not be using those colors again. So you can see we just barely used any of those. So this is going to be the D1s. They're all in the same spot on each one. With this many colors, you need to figure out a color code system that works for you. That way you don't get all this stuff mixed up, because one wrong color in the wrong spot and it could throw off your whole day. Okay, so orange right here in the middle. And we're just going to work on each section one at a time. We're going to go slow. We're going to make sure that it's done right. This is not an easy dye here. I would not consider this an amateur pattern. I mean, an amateur could do this, but as you can see, to be able to figure something out like this, you got to have done this a little bit. So I'm sure many of the professionals could figure this out. This is a, we call it an intermediate to an advanced level. This isn't the highest advanced, but honestly, well, you know, to mix all these colors, this honestly is probably more of an advanced level dye, because it was a lot of work to do all of this. It's not like it was just like, yep, here's my colors. Let's just throw these together and mix them real quick. No, that did not happen. Okay. I hope that wasn't too much in there. Okay, so now we're going to flip this over. Do the same thing that we just did with these opposite colors. Try not to let it bleed too much. Just a drop at a time. Let it spread. Let it do its thing. Add another drop or two if you feel like it needs it. And come over here to the blue, right here in the middle. Just a drop at a time. Let the colors mix just slowly. And these colors, where the colors touch, that'll end up doing is giving us the in-between colors. So there might be like a little dark turquoise that shows up right there. And some indigo over here. Indigo blue, indigo violet, violet indigo. Because these are a darker color here. We'll make sure we don't bleed too much into that fuchsia right here on this other side. Okay, so that's those colors. Those colors are done. Then back in their spot. And then we're pulling out our regular hue. The original hue that we started with are these. Before we altered, these were our originals. So they're going to be right here. And then we're going to start getting lighter as we move out. So once again, orange right here in the center. And this we're going to want to be a little bit more careful. Make sure we get a little bit more dye on here, but that we keep it here in the middle. So we need it to go down a little bit and not out. So if you put too much dye on it at a time, it's not going to go down, it's going to spread. You don't want it to spread, you want it to go down. So we'll put this right next to it. And we can do like, see that yellow running off the edge back there? So a little extra yellow versus the other colors is a little okay. Yellow gets overtaken by the other colors. So some of that orange will overtake that yellow. And then some of the green on the other side will also do it. But as you can see, there's like 4 folds here that are orange, which is quite a bit. So we don't want too much orange. And it's already going down here into where the fuchsia needs to be. So we'll try to get a little bit of fuchsia in there, but not too much. I have to come back over with the orange because you see the fuchsia might have a little too much fuchsia. See how it's spreading? So what we'll do is some orange right here. A little bit more yellow. And hopefully we won't have too much dye in there. I think it should be good. I'm going to flip over. You see how some of the fuchsia has gotten into this purple area already. It's all right. It's purple and fuchsia mix. That's what gives this like magenta. It's got a good in between color. Let's put a few drops. Come over here, a few drops of blue. And we may need to go over some of this again, depending on how much white that we want, because it does need to go all the way down, and so that's the difficult part with this pattern is we can't put dye on the other side and expect it to get any of these layers over here. And so some of my green, a little too much green. So we'll come over here. The yellow, just try to push that green back just a little bit. Do need a little bit more purple here. Just drop or two at a time. If you have like fine tip bottles, you stick them down in those folds. It helps you get the other layer, or helps you get down into those layers a little better. Okay. I did drip some of that blue over here into the purple. There we go. So first 3 are good. Halfway done. Not really. Done with half of the colors, but now we still got a good portion of the shirt left. This is because of my incremental growth over this. Okay, so now we're going to go orange 3, Going, nope, some of these I have backwards, so I'm gonna have to double check here. So 3 means I need to swap those two. Okay, 3, 3, 3. Okay, there we go. Just my fuchsia was a little out of order there. Okay, and then we're gonna go to the orange. Start with orange, right here in the middle. So this is now spread quite a bit where I can stick that bottle in there, give a good squeeze. So you have to go pretty much in between every layer and make sure that the dye goes in it, because there's a long way down right there. And so if you don't physically put the bottle tip down in there, the dye may not go in there at all. So just kind of work it in there. You got to get a lot of dye out here in these deeper layers. So we're now at, almost this much fabric that the dye has to slowly move down. You can't just like squirt it all at once. It will bleed. So you do have to put just a little bit here, a little bit there, get down in the folds, squeeze a little bit at a time. Just like so. Okay, so it might be, so fuchsia doesn't move as well. Sometimes you gotta sit there and make sure to add quite a bit. Make sure we got plenty of yellow here. And put a little bit more orange between this fuchsia and orange. Oh, I must have touched. Okay. So by flipping it over back and forth, I seem to be getting dye in places I don't want it to be. So I'm going to have to be careful. Green 3. Make sure you get enough to go down into all those folds. That green's starting to work its way over into where this blue is supposed to be. I'm going to go through at the blue. This blue is a makeup of 3 different blues. Has some turquoise, some cerulean blue, and some medium blue into it. My blue is typically just turquoise. I realized I was low and made some more blue. Just made a general blue out of the blues I have. Turn this, make sure I can see, getting it where it actually needs to be. I think I need some more blue over this green right here. Okay. Switch those back out. We are down to our last 2 levels. Wait, here we go. So now we grab number 2. And work on that next layer here. So this, I how big this is. Definitely got to get down in these folds for sure. You're going to have to come through and open these folds up. There is no way. I'm going to be very careful. I just slipped. There's some, luckily fuchsia will be going there. So making sure we're getting plenty of dye down in here. Oh, there must be some plastic right there or something. It's like something's not dying. Okay. And you get plenty of yellow down in there. Yeah, these outer folds definitely take longer. They're going to take more dye. There's quite a bit more material right in there. And then the start of the collar is also right around here, it looks like. And the collar has quite a bit more material in it. Looks like our fuchsias are starting to get into the pink. That's all. Pink is just diluted fuchsia. I also make red out of fuchsia. If you mix red and orange together just right, yeah, I'm sorry. If you mix fuchsia and orange together just right, you end up getting red. I know sometimes I'll start talking about colors and I will mention another color completely and not even realize not even talking about the right color that I am saying. It's almost like a color dyslexia or something. It's very strange. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, since I don't have any color bleeding from either side, this blue right here in the center. I'm just going to go ahead and start with blue in the middle. And I got to be careful. So I believe on the first one I did, I think somewhere right in here, the plastic, there's a break in the plastic from the folds. And so if you put too much dye, it will transfer through that break and go over to the other side. It's a little hard to explain, but if you experience it, you'll know what I'm talking about. So yeah, my first one that I did, most of it was perfect. But I had a spot in the orange where the purple bled, and then of course in the purple where the orange bled, because they bled into each other. And I think it was somewhere right around in this area, so keep that in mind. Okay, we are almost down to our last and final layer. Making our color wheel here. Thank you again for watching. I make this all for you. Let me know if you end up making some of my patterns, how they look. I would love to see them. I do have Facebook and Instagram, both under Dyed for Life. And so if you want to go ahead and post to any of those, I guess you can't post to my Instagram, but you can tag me on Instagram if you end up making any of these patterns. Go ahead and give me a shout out, letting everyone know I helped you make that. Let me see it. I would love to see what your work looks like. Okay, now we're going to get here to our last and final set of colors. Okay, so here you kind of want to run to see. Okay, so I don't want to put quite as much orange So the orange is still going to go to the middle here. I got the right one. Okay. There we go. So you need to make sure it goes down and not out. There are less orange layers here because like some of this fabric stops. So I'm actually not 100% sure that these should be orange, but I think they'll be okay. We'll be all right. We're going for near perfection. Tie-dye. If we wanted perfect, we'd print it. But we are tie-dyeing it by hand. So what we're doing, near perfect. Oops, sorry, just bumped the camera there. All right, so there's our yellow. Looks like a good bright yellow. Need to double check any of these. Make sure. I need to see what side some of these layers are on. Okay, so that layer right there looks like I need to make sure it is exposed. What about that one? That one needs to be okay from other side. All right. So what I'm doing here is making sure that none of the plastic is overlapping layers on this side. And then also none of the layers from the other side have poked through like the edge of the plastic. So we are over here where the folds are and stuff. So I am making sure that I'm only getting the right or the correct side of the fabric. See how there's some white right there? That's from the other side. Same with right there. So what we need to do is when we turn it over and flip on the other side, we need to make sure put enough dye on it to where it comes all the way through to there. Okay, so we gotta get in all these folds here. It's gonna take quite a bit. Maybe a little more. Doesn't look like it's run all the way down here. Okay. We are good to flip. Yeah, and as I just flipped it right there, the shirt does feel a little light. So I may not have used enough dye in all this. But we'll be fine with a little bit of white here and there. It's going to give it that stained glass window look anyway by doing so. Okay, so that's from the other side right there. Okay, so this probably blue. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so just follow your folds. Make sure that you're lining up, dyeing the same folds all the way down. Looks like it's going to take quite a bit of dye over here. Give it a nice good squeeze. I may have to add some more colors over here, or add some more dye into some of these because it's starting to look like not quite enough over here on some, just on some. But maybe we'll see. And so if you turn to the side, see how there's like some white that's over here? It's on both sides. So I want to make sure that I got enough dye added on this side before I flip it over. Oops. Okay. Flip back over. I can actually feel some weight to this thing now. We're going to add some more yellow in here. Okay. And I see a lot of white right there. So we're going to go look at this. Take a look at what side is that supposed to be. So see here, lots of white. Except from the other side. Sometimes you may have to come through and open some of this so that you can tell what you're dyeing. Oh, yep, there we go. Okay. So that looks like it is actually supposed to be green in here. Cool. What about that right there? I think we are good here. So now we're going to take our black and we're going to put just a little bit and cover. Very careful on the edges so that it doesn't run down. But you want to get basically every fold. Okay, flip that over. This is going to make black lines protrude out from the center. There's also going to be some white lines protruding out from the center. It's going to make it look like a I think I dripped a little bit, but I think we'll be all right. Just be super careful. Over here, adding up on this side. And our color wheel is now dyed. So we're going to let this sit till tomorrow, and then we're going to wash it out. After you've let your shirt sit for 24 hours, it'll be ready to rinse and wash. Check out my other video labeled how to rinse and wash your t-shirt if you need instructions on how to do that. And then your shirt will be ready to wear. This has been Nate with Dyed for Life. Please click like and subscribe for more videos. Thank you for watching.